How to control your mind while you're trading. But hear this, you're not actually in control. You did really well in your back test, you did all right in your demo tests, and then when you had real funds, you messed it all up. You can see this all the time with prop firm traders. They pass a challenge, and then the minute they get funded, they mess up. According to Finance Magnate, the magazine, it says that only 14% of traders actually pass the evaluation stage in prop firms. And out of that 14, half of those actually receive a payout. That leaves only 7% of traders actually taking money home, while 93% fail. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 mental mindset shifts that you need to create in order to understand what's going on and win in this game. If you're a real one, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and drop a comment below. The first mental shift that you need to have is you need to understand there's an illusion of control. Just because you're able to click the mouse with your fingers and hit buy and sell, consciously you think that you're making decisions based on whatever you did during your backtest or in your demo trades. Now that you're playing with real money, you're making decisions, but you have different emotions working against you. You think you're in control, but your conscious mind is only actually 5% of the equation. 95% of your mind is subconscious, and you don't even know it. Your trading decisions are already made before you even make those trades. Your decisions are pre-made. They're pre-programmed into you deep in your subconscious mind. For example, if you are in profit, you might not be able to hold your profits because your subconscious mind is uncomfortable and is forcing you to close the trades early. You can understand why you can't hold profits because you're being controlled and you don't even know it. You have to understand that trading is 90% mindset and only 10% strategy. In that 90% of that is subconscious programming and only 10% is your conscious mind. So within the 90% of the subconscious mind, you have to understand again that 90% of that is mostly, in most people's cases, negative beliefs, negative programming, and only 10% positive programming. So you can see why the odds are really stacked against you, and they reflect in the results why 93% of people fail in trading. The ones that do succeed, they're subconsciously stable. They're aware of their emotions. They have overcome their emotional hurdles. They're enlightened. They've done the internal work. So you have to understand that just because you can click a button, you can hit buy and sell, it does not mean that you're in control. You're not making the decisions. Your subconscious mind's making the decisions. So you have to understand where your decision making is coming from in the first place if you want to beat this. Once you understand this, then you can start working on it and fixing it. If you're interested, then check out the first link in the description. I've got something there for you to help you overcome your subconscious programming. Now, the second mindset shift that you have to understand is that the enemy is actually within you. So you're dealing with fear, greed, pride, ego, revenge trade, impatience. These are all internal emotions that affect your decision making, and they are wired deep down subconsciously. So you have to understand that these are the emotions that are running the show. So for instance, your ego. This is the reason why you move your stops or you revenge trade, because your ego has to be right. It's your internal ego. You want to be right. So if you take a loss, you start revenge trading because you need to be right that day. The enemy is always internal. It's not your strategy. It's an internal thing. The third mental mindset shift that you need to understand is that you have to surrender and let go. You have to accept that your edge is a process of wins and losses. You're going to lose, you're going to win, you're going to lose, you're going to win. You're not always going to win. So you have to accept this. And you need to trust in this process and just let it go, let it be, surrender to it. You need to put on the trade and just walk away. and you either lose or you win. There's nothing you can do. Once you take a trade, you got to stop obsessing over it. You can't look at your charts all the time anymore. This is how you surrender. You close the charts. You go do the lifestyle stuff. You go out of the house. You switch off your computer. You've done your work. You waited for your setup. You got into the setup when it came. And then now you got to just be patient and let it do its thing. You understand? So you got to surrender and just let it be. If you take a loss, it's not personal. It's not a hit to your ego. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It's just part of your process. So you got to understand that losing is part of the process. And at the same time, if you win, it doesn't mean you're a genius. So you need to surrender and just let it go. Number 4, you have to have the discipline of a warrior. You have to have a warrior mindset. And that means taking care of your diet, taking care of your discipline, being mentally aware, maybe having a routine. Maybe you would meditate. Meditate daily, go for walks, clear your mind. You have to have this warrior mentality that whatever happens, it's not personal. You got to be stoic about trading. Have a warrior routine. Go to bed on time. Wake up on time. Have a fixed, set, boring routine day in and day out and do it so well. When you go to the gym, stick to the gym. If you go to the gym, work out 3 times a week, you work out 3 times a week. Whatever your routine is, you need to have a routine. You cannot be like everybody else and just be a bum and do whatever whenever you feel like it. You have to have discipline. And especially in trading, because if you can't be disciplined around your routine, then when you show up to the market, that's going to reflect on how you perform, because you're going to be weak with your decision makings. You're going to be unsure of your decisions when you take trades. You're going to be flip-flopping all the time. You need to be strict. You need to be a warrior. The 5th mindset shift that you need to have is you need to have this identity shift. Now, you have to become a trader. You cannot be becoming a trader. There's a big difference there. You have to be the trader. How does a professional trader think? How do they behave? What do they do? How do they speak? What is their routine? How do they treat people? How do they react to situations? This is who you have to become. You have to be this person. You cannot be anything else. You cannot be a clown. You have to be a trader, right? Your identity, your story about yourself is going to keep repeating. So if you say, oh, I keep losing all the time, I'm always losing, guess what? You're always going to keep repeating that, because your words are like magic. It's like a spell. If you speak, this will be your reality. Do you understand? But if you say more powerful things like, I am a professional trader, I am a disciplined trader, using positive affirmations, creating this positive identity, then your reality will have to shift, because your internal dialogue has shifted. As above, so below, as within, so without. So you need to shift this and have this inner belief that you are the one, that you are a successful trader, that you can do this. And I believe that you can do this. Anyone can do this. We're not taught by the matrix to have positive self-talk, positive self-image. That's the last thing anybody, any school, any institution would want from you, is to have a strong character, a strong self-image, a powerful self-image of self-confidence and belief in your own abilities. They don't want that for you. They want you weak and broken. So you need to understand that and develop a winner's mindset, a winner's identity of yourself. So I hope that was useful for you. If you're a real one, drop a comment below and write warrior in the making. I want to know who the real ones are. And if you're new to the channel, of course, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed.